Right then guys, basically feeling a bit better today. Well, pretty much. I've figured out how it works. If you aren't into high voltage, then you probably don't want to be watching this. If you're into mechanical, electronics, that kind of stuff, then it might be interesting to you. Basically, I'm going to show you how it works. I've figured out that although it has got a selectable input voltage, it's basically, if I were to run it on the 110 off the variac, it will step it up to 240, or actually 220. You can see when the unit is turned off, it shows the line input. So I'm going to turn it up on the variac to 220. That should be about 220 just there. Right, so basically we turn it on, everything sort of lights up, got the displays there. First thing you can do is, with that button, switch it off. That actually blocks everything out, that stops it all from working even though it's lit up and has the green light on. And you have to physically reset it with the switch. So you've now got that on. Right, now basically there isn't too much to this. You've got a timer here, which that is controlled by a switch that would come from one of these sockets on the side. Now that switch would run, I'm going to have to get my phone so I can get some light around the back. Should have had this ready really. Right, that runs, that contacted them right there, and that is all it runs. All these transformers up here, there's a few in there as well, all run to sort out the line voltage to bring it back up to what it needs to be. So what I should do is I will show you me manually using the contactor and show you basically what it does. So for starters, if I manually push it, you'll notice that that wheel, I don't think you can actually see that, that wheel right there with a cam on it is making that click, and all that is doing, literally all it's doing is making that red light flash. So instead of electronics, it is mechanical. It's quite over engineered. Now the whole time this is going, it's also making that timer run. You can see the needles are out of line. I'll keep my finger on it so you can see it time out. I don't know actually how long I set it for, but it must time out fairly soon. There you go, it's timed out. So now to physically reset that, everything comes back on. Well, actually goes off. It didn't take too much to figure this out, but I know a lot of you guys are into mechanical things as well as electronics. But I can't actually get my phone in a good enough place to get some light into the mechanics of the timer. You might be able to see in there. I will turn the timer on a bit and mechanically, basically with my finger, do a contactor. Very, very slow moving. Very slow moving. But it all works. The problem with the variac and actually reusing it would be that that there is as far as it will go round. It will go further if you were to take the block out. There's a little stop in there, and it actually only gives out a maximum of 200 volt, well actually it's about 190 something volts. But I have measured all the way to where they stop, and it actually goes up to 270, so it is actually a standard variac. Now I'm just going to disconnect the safe block, not disconnect it but open it up so we're good. You'll notice there is the second variac on the back there. which controls the milliamps. Now some of you might be able to help me out on telling me how this works, because that variac, instead of the windings stopping here, there is about 3 inches of turn on it, so you have a very small voltage range, but it doesn't seem to change anything to do with the current. It actually, using one of these outputs on the side here, obviously the outside, it actually changes just the voltage. It doesn't actually change the current, which I don't actually know because I'm no expert at it. I know how to run an X-ray transformer, because obviously I've done that. I know how to run them with a ballast, but as for actually producing the X-rays, I don't know whether, some people say depending on what unit it is, some have a ballast in them to control it, but generally ballasts control the voltage output, not the current output. Although yes, it's controlling the current input, it's not actually controlling the current output. So to make an X-ray give out 150 kV, say at 10 milliamps, if you wanted to change it to 150 kV at 5 milliamps, you can't just change the input voltage. And you can't just add a ballast, because if you add a ballast, that would add, it would obviously take away the amount of current that is allowed to be drawn by the transformer, because as we all know, the X-ray transformers aren't current limited. So I have a funny feeling it has something to do with the volts that is being supplied to the filament that changes the milliamps of the X-ray transformer. Well, not X-ray transformer, sorry. You have to excuse me, the painkillers are doing my head in today. But yeah, actually changed the milliamp of the X-ray tube. So I still am very unsure what to use this for. It's one of those things I really do not... Ow. I'll be on my spine. Basically, I really don't know what to do with it. It's one of those things which I really like the look of. I'm thinking it would probably make quite a good controller for a Tesla coil. But it's no good for the variac to actually run the coil, because the coil is going to be run from a either a 12 or a 20 kV potential transformer, so it would literally melt that variac to pieces. So the only thing I can figure is to basically use it as a phase shift control for my spark gap, be a synchronous rotary gap. But again guys, that is something that's going to be a long way off, because I can't do it. I'm not going to deny it, I struggle to get out of bed most mornings, so to actually make a Tesla coil is going to take me some time. But it will get done. I'm determined it will be done. I made my last one. I made my control unit, we get these things done. I'm not quite as quick as most people can do stuff, but I give it my best shot. So that's all I can really do. But yeah, as I say, basically I think it's going to end up, and I'm really not liking to say this, but I think it's going to end up having most of the parts took out of it, just because it really isn't usable for anything, except a phase shift control. That's the only thing I can think. And then obviously if it's running for a Tesla coil, I'll use the meters for the voltage. I could even reuse a timer. It's a really nice mechanical timer, I could actually use the timer so that I can run my coil for, it does it in 20-second intervals, up to 9 minutes, so I could actually have it so it's running. But apart from that, I really can't think of anything else I can use it for, and I'm definitely not going to be powering up an X-ray tube. I haven't actually got any X-ray transformers anymore, and even if I did, I'm not into making X-rays, so I had enough X-rays as it is, I don't need any more. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, hope it wasn't too boring. Yeah, and I shall keep you updated when I do, if I do eventually turn it into something, be part of the main project. So anyway, thanks for watching, comment, be kind though, please. Don't ask much, but be kind, and we'll speak again soon.